In 1968, a massive Gothic-style church built in 1886 loomed over the working-class fishing port of Gloucester, Massachusetts. But the heavy wooden doors didn't open for a traditional congregation. They opened for a radical experiment with a bizarre rule for admission. To step foot inside, visitors had to take a $1 bill out of their pocket and set it on fire at the entrance. That burning paper targeted the historical alliance between American capitalism and theology, the specific cultural belief that wealth is a manifestation of divine grace, printed directly onto the currency. Past the ashes at the door, the sanctuary was a pitch-black void. There were no pews, no members to offer a greeting, and no sermons to follow. Only a sign remained, which read, "Come participate in nothing." Humans are hardwired to search for meaning, but Reverend Richard Emmanuel, the church's founder, argued that the inherited stories we use to fix our lives are actually making us sick. To see clearly, we have to burn those stories away. Emmanuel's journey started in the institutions of Washington, D.C. As a student of sacred architecture at the Catholic University of America, he spent his days surrounded by rigid authority, studying ancient documents from the Vatican archives. Outside the archives, the 1960s were fracturing the country. The escalation of the Vietnam War and widespread global unrest presented a reality that the quiet dogmas of his theology classes couldn't explain. Recognizing that messianic stories and absolute truths were incompatible with the chaos of the decade, he dropped out, used his remaining tuition money to travel, and joined the West Coast counterculture. Returning to the East Coast, he purchased the abandoned Methodist church to house a physical laboratory for his evolving philosophy. To truly free his visitors, Emmanuel knew that simply building a space wasn't enough. He had to systematically dismantle the pillars of society that people brought in with them. He turned the church's second floor into an aggressive, dark, immersive art installation. The sanctuary became a gallery filled with shocking, repurposed iconography designed to provoke a total reevaluation of belief. He targeted the Abrahamic faiths, arguing that the patriarchal insistence on absolute, unquestionable truth served as a direct path to oppression and global conflict. In his massive Ashes to Ashes installation, he used discarded street trash and abandoned store mannequins to reflect a society that had failed in its stewardship of the planet. Emmanuel's art attacked what he called the Disneyfication of the world, where genuine spiritual or physical experience is replaced by pre-packaged entertainment and artificial landscapes. He described the screen as the telebeam mirror. While a real mirror reflects the self, the television beams a manufactured reality into the home, isolating individuals and turning active participants into passive consumers. Consumerism and dogmatic religion function as twin forces, providing the pre-packaged answers that maintain a passive status quo. Emmanuel's refusal to conform actively provoked the local establishment, drawing intense hostility from those who viewed his deconstructions as a threat to the town's social order. The backlash turned violent in the 1970s. After he challenged the local status quo on environmental and urban issues, his church was firebombed. He waged a grueling legal battle alongside the ACLU, eventually convincing the state Supreme Court that a religious institution requires no specific doctrine to maintain its tax-exempt status. For the next several decades, he remained a fixture at city zoning boards, fiercely protesting the industrial pollution of the harbor and fighting the overdevelopment of the waterfront. Emmanuel proved his philosophy through direct action, moving his fight from the gallery to the courtroom and the streets to challenge the local establishment. When religion, capitalism, and consumerism are completely stripped away, what remains? In Emmanuel's view, this nothing represents the ultimate blank canvas, the space required for individuals to finally begin writing their own stories. Now, this 50-year experiment faces an existential threat. Emmanuel's health is failing, and the church is struggling against mounting municipal fees and the looming prospect of foreclosure. Gloucester's working-class history is being overwritten by modern gentrification, where the city's eccentric, authentic heritage is increasingly paved over for luxury condos. Emmanuel's philosophy suggests that institutions are meant to fall. Healing begins when you realize you're sick. The challenge now is to step away from the screens and actively write your own narrative before it's too late.